it's time to connect our smart contract to our ReactJS server. A couple of things that we have to do. Number one, we have to retrieve the ABI or the application binary interface from the contract and create a constant in ReactJS, so then we can grab attributes or grab the function names and we can call them using our connect wallet script. I'm going to be showing that first. It's not that hard to accomplish. We just need to copy and paste and store the values in a constant. So I am going to be doing that. Once we do that, we then want to enable the contract itself on ReactJS. How can we do that? We import, or we also store the contract address on ReactJS inside a constant. So we grab that constant, we add the address value onto ReactJS, and then we can use that to call the contract and mint NFTs. All right, so let's go ahead, let's begin. Let's start with the ABI. Let's find where that ABI, how can we export the ABI from the smart contract? Once we're done with that, we will then continue on ReactJS and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, so the first thing we have to do here is we have to go to Remix and we got to retrieve the ABI. So let me go ahead and open a Remix browser window. Okay, so this is where we left the previous video. We finished coding the smart contract and we minted the smart contract. It's active on the testnet. What I have to do now, I have to retrieve the ABI. How can we do that? On the Remix, we want to go back onto the Solidity compiler, which you can see here on my left side. Okay. Now, once you get the contract properly compiled, and you can see the green check mark there saying that it's successfully compiled, you are going to see this ABI setting right below here. Let me see if I can expand this. Perfect. So you can see it right here. Okay. So we're just going to copy that. That's it. Now, with the information copied, we are going to hit our ReactJS server and we're going to create that constant called ABI, and we're gonna paste the values. Okay, so we are on the ReactJS server. Now let's go ahead and create that constant. So we're gonna call constant, and this one, it's going to match exactly the same value as we have on the setting in the script to connect the wallet. So we have to make sure that it matches. Okay, then we're gonna say equals, and then we're gonna paste. So we can either then do this or just Control V. Okay, so this is the ABI. The ABI is basically all the functions, all the calls that I can do on the contract, plus all the values that the contract has stored. So all of this are functions, variables, those are settings, those are items that you can interact or also not interact, they're read-only on the contract. We got the ABI. Second thing that we have to call, or we have to store in ReactJS, it's the contract address itself, because once we connect and perform a mint function, we need to know what the address of the smart contract we're going to be interacting to buy the NFTs, right? So we need to provide the contract address on the ReactJS server. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to Remix. I think the best way is Remix. So we're just gonna hit Remix right here. And one way to grab the contract address, if you for some reason close the Remix site, you can go to your owner wallet, and then we can see the contract. Oh, by the way, I'm on a different account. There we go. So you can see the contract deployment. We can click the contract deployment. I can go to the block explorer. And remember, Etherscan, and there you have it. That's my contract address. I'm just going to copy that. If you're on Remix, you can also find the contract address at the deployed contract. So you just copy the address right here. Those are two ways of doing it. Okay, I literally just did it over Etherscan. It's the same thing. Okay, now that I have the value, I'm going to go back onto my ReactJS, and let's go to the end of the ABI value. There's a lot of data. Okay, now we're gonna type the same const, but in this case, address. Okay, and we can confirm that this is the address, the variable, or exactly the same name as we have on our constant. Okay, so it has to be the same. Now we're gonna put quotations here, and then we're going to paste the smart contract address, and we're just gonna put a semicolon there. Okay, so that looks great. Now we got both the API and the address stored. Let me go ahead and Control S or save. I have the ReactJS already running, so I should see if there is errors, and yes, we do have errors. What are those errors showing? The reason why they're showing, because those are variables that we're not necessarily able to compile because we don't have values. Why we don't have values? It's because we haven't connected our wallet. The account, it's the wallet address, which we haven't connected to ReactJS. So ReactJS doesn't know what the value for account is. How can we get rid of this error so it doesn't show once we compile? We can create a null variable saying, hey, there's no value, but the variable will still be used. So we can create a null variable in JavaScript that will then get rid of this error. Let's go ahead and do it. It's very simple. We can either do it, we can even do it here, we can do it on the top, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna call var, which one is our first value, account, and then we have contract. We just have two, it's just that it's configured on multiple lines in the code. So we just need to create two. So let's create account first. And then we're just gonna type null. Okay, perfect. Let's do the same thing for contract. Var contract equals null. Okay, so we got both those two. Now let's go ahead and Control S and let's see again. Let's see if now it doesn't complain. Perfect. It's still showing me logo is not undefined or never used. Oh, I think I know what this is. This is something by default in ReactJS, and I think it's configured on the top. We're not using it, so as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and remove it. Oh yeah, there you go. If you see it's all grayed out because we're not using it, I can just delete that entry line. Control S again, and let's see now. Perfect. Now no errors. We're good to go. Great. Okay, one thing that I realized is that on the previous video, we did enable the Connect Wallet button, but we did not enable the Mint button. And one way of enabling the Mint button is by calling the ID, and I can show you right here. I can actually call the ID as an ID, and basically what it's going to look for is this ID in JavaScript, and it's going to execute those everything that is inside this tag right here, right? So we got this opening tag. So whenever someone hits the Mint ID, you know, get element by ID, Mint, which we will call on the button itself, what's going to happen is just going to go over each instruction, right? And it's going to execute that instruction. However, everything is compiled onto one function, which is Connect Wallet. Another way that I will strongly recommend you follow this one, it's to separate the Connect Wallet from the Mint into separate functions, which makes the code a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to troubleshoot. You don't have everything all like compiled onto one. This is how it's done. It's very easy. There's no major changes that we have to do on this. Okay, so let's go ahead. The first thing we got to do, and let's change this to be another function. So up to the contract variable, we are going to make sure that the contract variable stays with the first function, which is the Connect Wallet. The Mint function will just use whatever value we obtain from the Connect Wallet, right? So the Connect Wallet will just store all this information, right? It's just going to create this contract variable, and with the Connect Wallet, it's going to be able to store that information into the contract value. And then we can use that contract value to mint, okay? Very simple. What we need to do now, we need to create another async function. This one is gonna be async function mint. Let's call it mint. Let's open and close parentheses, and let's start with the tag. We are opening the instructions, right? and then we should be closing the instructions. Now that we are going this method instead of this method, we effectively can take this out of the code. Okay, so we're just going to take this out of the code. And now the code, you're going to see it's going to look way more cleaner, right? So all we have to do now, we have two codes. We got two functions. We got a function to connect the wallet, and we got another function to mint. What is mint going to do? Is going to, get the mint amount, get the mint rate, get the total amount by multiplying rate and amount, which we mentioned that rate, it's the gas fee and the Ethereum cost once we do the call. So all that will be calculated at the end by your wallet. In this case, we use MetaMask, but you can use any other, okay? Awesome. Another thing that we don't necessarily need to go through, it's the try, because try means that, try, if you're able to connect, then do this, do that, else you just catch that error. So to make the code a little bit cleaner, we can just not use this. That's one way. If we still need to do some debug or like see, hey, there's issues beyond what we can see once we compile, then it's beneficial. It's optional. It's not something mandatory, right? So let me go ahead and remove this. And let me show you something that I've learned troubleshooting JavaScript. It's closing. So in this case, I'm using Visual Studio Code. So I'm seeing that I got two errors, and I know which ones are. One, it's that I'm no longer needing a try, and boom, that resolved that, but we still have an issue. The issue is that the Connect Wallet opening bracket, it's not being closed here, it's being closed here. So it's going to expect this as well. What we need to do here, we just need to close this and this first. Okay, and this is a cool trick for you to understand or for you to learn, because when you start coding and you keep adding functions and functions, you can start opening statements but then closing them in another function, and that could cause issues on your code, so you don't want that. So in this case, I am going to close the first if, right? So we got this if right here being closed here, and now we need to close this one by adding another tag. So I am just going to do that. Boom. Now we close the first function. Connect Wallet has been closed. It's no longer interacting with this one. This one is going to be completely isolated from this one. Okay. Else, what do we need? Mint. We need to make sure that we're also closing this one. So let's see. We have one opening and one closing. We also have to tell Mint the following. We need to tell this Mint function, if you see a Web3 connection, then you are allowed to run those commands. How do you do that? You do the same. You see it here? This is how we do it, right? So we call an if you see a window.ethereum, meaning that if you see a connection to a Web3 wallet, then go ahead and execute. And this is part of the ethers.js library, right? So this is a function or a library that we are calling. So we can either copy this, and that's one way of doing it, or you can type it. Now I am telling, when you hit the Mint button, if there is a Web3 connection between my browser and my wallet, then go ahead and execute this, okay? Now let's make sure that we are closing correctly. So this is this one. Let's go ahead and first see if we're closing this. So the if, right? If this happens, then execute this, and the closing tab, it's this one, perfect. Then we have another one below here, which will close, and you can see this has been like selected, or has been shown that once we click here, it shows that that one is the is the opening one. So that's perfect. So we don't need this one. This one is not needed. Okay, so that should take care of all the errors. Boom, awesome. Okay, perfect. Now we got two separate functions. You saw we now have two separate functions. We did this in a couple of minutes. Now we should be good. Let me just get rid of the spaces. Awesome. Yeah, perfect. Now we got two functions. We got a function to connect the wallet. We got a function to mint. Let's go ahead. We basically have to call this in our ReactJS configuration or in HTML. How do we do it? The same way we did the onClick for the Connect Wallet. We are just going to copy this. We're going to paste it here. But then what do we want to call this? Mint, because that's the name of the new function. Boom. Done. Awesome. There you go. This should turn on and boom, there you go. Now we know that this is connected to this function. This is connected to the other function, in this case the button. Once you press, it's going to run. Let's save it and let's see how it looks. Awesome, compiled successfully, no errors. Let's go to the browser, and this is the moment of truth. We're gonna do a Web3 connection to our Mint portal. Let's see. Boom, awesome. Okay, we're in business. Awesome. So the Mint portal has opened or has established a request to connect to your MetaMask wallet, and you can see this is literally our local host, in this case the local ReactJS server, telling us, hey, we want to connect, right? We're gonna click next, and it's telling us, hey, I'm gonna be allowing this to connect to our portal. Connect, and boom, we got the wallet ID from our MetaMask reflected on the portal. So that means that, yes, it's able to talk to the wallet. Something interesting happened, and I realized that I made a mistake on the HTML code because I wrapped the card in the wallet, the floating input for the wallet ID. So I basically deleted my button, deleted all the information that I had, my mint amount selectors and all that, but don't worry, this is very simple to fix, okay? Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. How can we fix this? We go back and we can see you got a card object for the wallet address. We need to close this on its own little div, right? So how do we do it? Simple. You got the opening div. We're just going to close it right here. So this is isolated. Nothing can be influenced by this particular object, right? So what we're going to do, div, boom. We close this, but now we still have an extra div, right? So either you can leave everything else outside of the div, or you can wrap another card so it looks a little bit more attractive, right? In this case, let's see how can if we don't close it on a card, let's see what will happen. Let's just save it. Let's go back. Let me refresh. Now you see that I see the wallet address, but everything is not formatted or it's not properly aligned, and you can call a display flex, which basically you can say flex justify center and everything will be consolidated. That's one way of doing it. I am going to go an easier approach to fix this static. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do another card, and let me just copy this because I'm lazy. But you know what? There's a reason why there's copy and paste, right? We want to use it. Obviously, we're not going to use this wallet address. And this is the closing div, which we are not going to leave there. However, we want to put the closing div for the entire card right here below. Boom. Now, everything inside this card, it's, belongs to this particular card, right? So now, the input selector, the amount of NFTs, it's stored on the same card as this particular label, and the mint button, it's also inside this card, object. This will be a graphical object that we close everything there. So this is, now we have two cards. We got a card to show the wallet ID, and then another card to show the number and the number of NFTs, as well as the button. Okay, so let me go ahead and save it, and let's see how that looks. Way better. Okay, awesome. So that looks way better. Let's go ahead and, you know what? The price is not 0.6, it's 0.5. So let's fix that real quick. Let me go ahead here. Boom, fixed. Now we got 5. Awesome. Let me refresh to make sure. Let's go ahead and connect. Boom, because we already established that connection, so it literally just connect, and we're connected. Now the moment has come. We're gonna buy an NFT. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's buy the first NFT from this collection. We're gonna click buy mint, and boom. How much is each NFT that we coded on the smart contract? 0.05. So it's 0.05. So it's now telling us, hey, you need 0.05 Ethereum to buy one NFT. So let's go ahead. Let's buy it. Okay. And now we're just waiting for a confirmation. Drum roll. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put this a little bit higher so you can see the confirmation when it comes. Let's wait for that. And it looks like it did. We didn't have a MetaMask confirmation, but we did actually bought an NFT. So that was cool. How can we confirm that we bought an NFT from the collection? Let's go ahead and verify the transaction on the Explorer. So let me go ahead and lower my video. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and click View on Block Explorer. And let's see if that mint function was successful. And now we got token ID number 1. Awesome, awesome. So we got the first NFT. Awesome. So let's go ahead here and see if we have a one token. Oh, this is our first token bought from the smart contract. There you go. We got it. We got the token. Sweet. Now that we have our first NFT, we want to make sure that we can see the NFT, right? Because we want to make sure that we can see it. How can we see it? We can go to OpenSea and we can use the testnet in OpenSea to verify that we can see our NFT. So let's go ahead and type a Google search, OpenSea testnet. And perfect. We got a testnet right here. And let's go ahead and connect with my wallet. So I am going to select MetaMask, and it's asking us to connect to OpenSea. I want to press next, connect. Awesome. So now let's go on to Resources Explorer. Let me see where that is. I think it's here, the profile. Oh, yeah, I saw what the issue was. It's Rinkeby. But I am not in the Rinkeby testnet. I am actually on the Robston testnet. So let's take it out. You know what? They don't have the Robston testnet. They only have Rinkeby. That's interesting. So I realized that OpenSea only uses Rinkeby as the testnet, which, again, no problem. This is a testnet. We can go ahead and mint the smart contract, but in this case, we'll use Rinkeby, and then from there, we should be good to go. So we can see we want to see the NFT. So for that, I just need to mint this on, instead of the Robston testnet, we want to mint this on the Rinkeby because OpenSea uses Rinkeby, which is, it's no big deal, like literally no big deal at all. So how can we do this? We have the smart contract. In this case, I just need to change myself to be on the Rinkeby. By being on the Rinkeby, guess what? I still need to go to a faucet and request some Ethereum so then we can test it out. Okay, so good news. I was able to find a Rinkeby faucet. It seems to be that Chainlink has a faucet, so I just requested some test Ethereum. So we can mint the smart contract again, and then we'll just update the address variable, and boom, and we're back in business. That's not a problem. That's very, very simple. And we are in business. We got 0.01 Ethereum, which should be fine to mint at least one NFT and mint the smart contract. So let's go ahead, back to Remix. Close this in. Let me go back to Remix. Compile the smart contract. Compile. Let's make sure that we use this. And let's go ahead. In this case, we're connected to Rinkeby. Perfect. And let me go ahead and deploy. It's going to ask me for the 0 Ethereum, 0.009. Boom. And we're just minting another smart contract, which is fine. The same. Nothing changes. We're just using another testnet. And we got the smart contract. Okay, let's see that smart contract. So then we can go to React, update the address. Let's wait. It just got recently confirmed. And we finally have a contract. Awesome. So we got a contract. Perfect. Now we're just going to copy the address of that contract. And let's go to our ReactJS server. Okay. So let me click cancel here. Okay, awesome. So now we just need to update this. Paste. Boom. Now we got the new smart contract address. We'll save it. And now we effectively have a contract on the Rinkeby. So when we can buy another NFT and see if OpenSea can see it on our wallet. Okay. The last thing I have to do, I got to request some Rinkeby tokens or Ethereum because now we're using Robston, but now I have to request the same for Rinkeby so we can buy an NFT. So let me go ahead and do that. Copy. And Rinkeby faucet, and there's one for Chainlink. That one seemed to work. Let me request using my wallet address, and I don't need link, I just need 0.01 Ethereum. Send request, boom, initiating. Let's wait until we get the tokens. And yeah, request complete, and boom, we got the tokens live on the video. Awesome, perfect. Let's go back to our website and see if we can go ahead and buy some NFTs. Connect wallet. Now I am connected to the Rinkeby. And let me mint one. And boom. Now we are on the Rinkeby test network. Let's go ahead and confirm. And we are buying an NFT. And let's make sure that we see the transaction. It's pending. It's pending. Boom. And we got an NFT. Okay, awesome. Now we are on the Rinkeby test network, which is allowed on OpenSea. So we should be able to see our NFT in OpenSea. Let's cross fingers. Let's go to OpenSea. And now let me make sure that I am connected profile. And let's see if we can filter based on blockchain. And let's select Rinkeby. And woo! Awesome. Okay, so now we know that we are able to see the NFT listed here. It's not showing the art. Oh no, it is. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. So it actually got the information from the metadata from our NFT itself, and it was able to find the picture. This is amazing. Awesome. So we got the first NFT minted from our smart contract. What can we see here? This is the properties of that NFT. We got the background, we got the head, we got the neck. And remember where that came from? It came from the metadata. The .json file, we actually coded that. And that's why we can see that there. Boom, 1.4, awesome. We got the Ethereum. Let's go back, let's buy another one. 1.4, actually, I should be able to buy two because it's 0.05. So I'm gonna buy two this time. Let's see how much it's gonna cost me. 0.1. So we know that that math that we coded in JavaScript is working 100%. So now we know that it's two NFTs. 0.05 gives us 0.1. Let's go ahead and buy it. Confirm, and we're buying two NFTs now on one transaction. Let's wait for the confirmation. Boom. We got now 3 NFTs. How can we confirm this? Let's go back to OpenSea. And let me go back. Awesome. Bravo, 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 bravo. There you go. We have developed our own ReactJS Web3 application to mint NFTs. The collection, it's now showing in OpenSea because it's able to grab the metadata file and it's able to pull the image path and grab the picture. We know end-to-end the smart contract, it's definitely working. We know end-to-end that the Web3 application is definitely working. We're ready to sell some NFTs. Awesome. Okay, so let's wrap it up on this video. And do you like that? That was awesome, right? That was amazing. This is what literally brings me a lot of joy when we see everything, when we see a lot of work, a lot of effort, and then we're able to see the final product. It makes us very happy. Awesome, guys. Okay, so our next video, what I'm going to be doing is we want to spice that website a little bit more. Let's find more information, like information to pull transaction history, information to get how many NFTs are minted from the smart contract, so we can see that live. And then we can say we'll have a total supply of 1,000, but so far X amount of NFTs were minted. Okay, and how can we know how many NFTs are minted so far? We can go to Etherscan. Let me go ahead. Oh, this is Robston, so I got to go to Etherscan 4. Let me share my screen again real quick. So I can go to my wallet. Let me find the last activity. Let me see it on the Block Explorer. And let me see the token collection. And now I have 3 because that's the amount that I minted. So now we got up to 3 tokens minted on the smart contract. Awesome, awesome. There you go. So in our next video, we are going to spice up that website a little bit more. How? We're going to start doing some API calls to Etherscan to pull data such as the total supply, how many holders, stuff like that, so you can display that on your website. As people start buying, you can start seeing a counter on your website of how many tokens or how many NFTs do you have left on the collection. So you can tell people, hey, we're running out of NFTs, you know, better get ready and stuff like that. Better hurry and stuff like that. So, alrighty, I would like to thank you for watching, for supporting me. Please, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next time. Bye.